What makes a man unforgettable? What transforms an ordinary guy into a man of culture? The kind of man people respect, admire, and maybe even fear a little. Today, I'm going to share the 10 principles that will shape you into a man of unwavering strength, wisdom, and charisma. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like you're drifting through life, stuck in routines, lacking the edge you need to thrive? If so, let me tell you something. You're not alone. Every great man, every Sigma male, every bold personality you've admired started right where you are now. But here's the difference. They made a decision, and that decision transformed their lives. Stick with me, and you'll walk away with 10 principles that will not only inspire you, but change the way you approach every single day. Act 1. Setting the stage. Why you must evolve. Point 1. The power of self-discipline. Let's start with something no one wants to hear. Discipline beats motivation. A man of culture doesn't rely on fleeting inspiration to get things done. He wakes up, puts in the work, and crushes his goals, even when he doesn't feel like it. Think about it. How often have you skipped a task because you didn't feel like it? That's your inner weakness winning. Imagine this. 2 men, same talent, same resources. One waits for inspiration, the other builds discipline. Who wins? And no, discipline doesn't mean you have to become a monk who wakes up at 4 a.m. drinking kale smoothies. Unless, of course, you like kale, then more power to you. Start small, build a habit. Because every disciplined action you take today compounds into something extraordinary tomorrow. Point 2. Commanding respect with your presence. Here's a secret most men don't realize. People judge you before you even speak. Harsh? Sure, but true. The way you stand, walk, and hold eye contact tells the world everything it needs to know about you. A man of culture doesn't shrink, he takes up space. He doesn't fidget nervously, he commands the room. But there's one element of your presence that's even more important than body language. I'll reveal it in just a moment. But first, let's talk about your mind. Act 2. The transformation. Building the Sigma male mindset. Point 3. The art of silent observation. Here's where most men go wrong. They talk too much. A man of culture listens more than he speaks. Why? Because the more you listen, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the sharper your decisions become. Ever notice how in movies the smartest guy in the room is always the quiet one? Meanwhile, the loud guy ends up getting punched in the face. Don't be the loud guy. The next time you're in a conversation, try this. Say less. Listen more. Observe everything. Body language, tone, hidden meanings. You'll be amazed at how much power silence gives you. Point 4. Emotional mastery. A man who can't control his emotions is a man who will always be controlled by others. Anger, fear, jealousy, these are the weapons the world will use against you if you let it. When someone tries to provoke you, imagine you're a mountain. No storm, no wind, no earthquake can shake you. Emotional mastery doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. It means you control them. And this mastery leads us to something even more important: decision-making. Point 5. Decisiveness is key. Men of culture don't sit around waiting for life to happen. They decide and act. Why? Because hesitation kills opportunity. Think about it. How many chances have you missed because you were too busy second-guessing yourself? But here's the shocking truth. Indecision doesn't just keep you stuck. It can ruin your confidence too. When you're indecisive, you tell yourself you don't trust your own judgment. Over time, that voice gets louder until every choice feels impossible. And here's the scary part. You're not just losing time, you're losing yourself. Now, don't confuse decisiveness with rushing. We're not saying you should decide what to do with your life over your morning coffee, unless you're a wizard with caffeine. The trick? Make a decision, act on it, and own the outcome. It's not about being right every time. It's about learning. Every decision you make sharpens your instincts. But how do you even know what to decide? It starts with a clear mind, and the only way to get one. That brings us to the next point. Point 6. The power of solitude. Here's something most people don't want to hear. If you can't stand being alone, you'll never know who you are. Solitude is where your mind finds clarity. It's where you discover your strengths, confront your weaknesses, and plan your path. But most people avoid it. Why? Because silence is uncomfortable. It forces you to face the thoughts you've been running from. But here's the secret. They're not as scary as you think. In fact, those quiet moments might just hold the answers you've been searching for. Now, I'm not saying you need to move to the mountains, grow a beard, and meditate for hours every day, unless you want to. But even then, don't forget Wi-Fi. Start small. Take 15 minutes a day to disconnect. No phone, no distractions, just you. Use that time to ask yourself big questions. Am I happy with where I'm going? What's holding me back? What do I need to do next? And here's the best part. When you spend time alone, you start building something invaluable. Something that will make the world take notice. Confidence. Point 7. Building unshakable confidence. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. But let's be real. Confidence isn't just about how you look or what you say. It's about how you show up when the stakes are high. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You'll never feel ready. That's right, confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after. Think about the first time you tried anything new. Maybe you were terrified, your hands were shaking, or your mind was racing with doubts. But once you took that leap, you realized something incredible. You didn't just survive, you thrived. Of course, this doesn't mean you should take up skydiving without a parachute to boost your confidence. Start small. Baby steps, my friend. Speak up when you're scared. Introduce yourself to someone new. Take on a challenge that makes you nervous. Every win, no matter how small, adds a layer to your confidence. But here's the catch. Confidence doesn't mean going it alone. In fact, to grow even faster, you'll need the right people around you. Point 8. The power of a strong network. No man is an island, especially not a man of culture. The people you surround yourself with can either elevate you or pull you down. Think of your network as your personal team. They should challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. But here's where most people mess up. They choose quantity over quality. They think more friends equals more success. Wrong. Let's be honest. Do you really need 500 followers who only like your posts about pizza? Or would you rather have 5 solid allies who help you level up? To build a strong network, focus on people who align with your goals and values. Be intentional. Because the truth is, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But here's the kicker. Your network won't work for you unless you work for them. That's where the next point comes in. Point 9. Be a giver, not a taker. Here's a lesson most men miss. The more you give, the more you grow. Men of culture don't ask, what can I get? They ask, what can I offer? But let's be clear, this doesn't mean being a doormat. Giving isn't about losing, it's about creating. When you give value, whether it's knowledge, support, or inspiration, you attract people who value you. Think of it like this. You're planting seeds, not throwing breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs just attract pigeons. And trust me, you don't want pigeons. The next time you meet someone, don't focus on what they can do for you. Instead, ask yourself, what can I contribute to this relationship? Over time, this mindset will set you apart as someone people respect and trust. And when you live this way, you're not just building connections, you're creating something much bigger. Point 10. Leave a legacy. At the end of the day, the real question isn't about what you've achieved, it's about what you've left behind. What will people remember about you when you're gone? Here's the hard truth. Most people live their lives for today, never thinking about their legacy. But men of culture think differently. They don't just live, they build. Your legacy doesn't have to be massive. It could be the lives you've impacted, the wisdom you've shared, or the example you've set. It's about leaving the world a little better than you found it. And no, leaving a legacy doesn't mean having a park bench named after you. Though hey, that's cool too. Every decision you make today shapes the story people will tell about you tomorrow. Start asking yourself, what do I want that story to be? And if you're ready to start building that legacy, I've got something special for you. Now here's the million-dollar question. Are you ready to start building your legacy? Because here's the thing. Everything we've talked about today, from confidence to connections, from decisiveness to giving, is the foundation of becoming a man of culture. But the journey doesn't end here. There's always more to learn, more to master, and more ways to elevate yourself. If you've made it this far in the video, that tells me something about you. You're serious about change. You're not just here to watch another video and move on. You're here to grow, to evolve, and to create something extraordinary. and that's why I want you to take the next step. Click on my video, What Nobody Tells You About INTJ Personalities. It's not just about INTJs, it's about unlocking a mindset that's built for strategic thinking, bold decision-making, and unstoppable success. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. But before you go, let's talk about something powerful that you can do right now. Something that costs you nothing, but means everything to this community. If this video sparked even one new thought, gave you a boost of confidence, or made you laugh with that pigeon joke, then do two things. Hit the like button and subscribe. They're both free, and honestly, where else do you get this much value for free these days? Subscribing isn't just a favor to me, it's a way to stay in the loop, to make sure you don't miss the next big idea that could change your life. Plus, when you like the video, you're telling the algorithm, hey, this is content people need to see. So really, you're helping others too. So here's the plan. Hit like, smash subscribe, and then dive into my video, What Nobody Tells You About INTJ Personalities. Let's keep this momentum going. See you there, legend.